Yeah, I think, last year's success was great, and it's almost like a weight has been lifted off our shoulder because we finally won that ODAC title, something we've been really working hard for the men for 4 years now. So that's lifted off our shoulder. So I just think coming to into the season a little bit more relaxed, less concentrated on that ODAC championship, I think is going to help us develop, as a better regional team and hopefully ultimately as a better national team, just because of the exposure that we had last year. And like I said, getting that kind of burden lifted off our shoulders. Yeah, so our returners, obviously, Luke Soul is a highlight of those returners, being a senior, so we're hoping that he can come out and run really well this year as a senior, lead us on, hopefully at the national level. That's where he's going to really help us. Keith Thomas, this is the first summer he's been healthy. He's up over 60, 65 miles for the first time before October, so we're really, really excited about that. Tim's healthy. He's in good shape. Matt's in the best shape of his life thus far. He really matured a lot here during the track season, so he's going to be a completely different runner than he was even last fall versus this fall. So, those 4 key returners are really big for us. We returned Wyatt Campbell, who was in our top 7 at times last year. He'll be a sophomore. And like I said, a lot of those rising sophomores, Connor Magooter, Trey Gibson actually will be a freshman because he had a medical hardship last year. But just those 2-3 guys are much older, much more mature, much more hungry, and I think ready to come in and make an impact. And last year they were a little bit overwhelmed trying to make an impact just because of the upperclassmen. This is actually our most talented freshman class I've ever brought in. I remember sitting here last year telling you that we wouldn't have a single freshman in our top 7 last year, and essentially that was true, But this year I can guarantee there's going to be at least 1 freshman in our top, probably 3, maybe 2 in our top 7. So just because the talent that we're bringing in, I think that's going to help a lot. And last year we had some good freshmen that were underdeveloped. So we have, I think, 3 freshmen that could be battling to be in the top 7 as well. So hopefully the development of those freshmen becoming sophomores and maturing a little bit, and then the squad overall getting a little bit older. I think we're a much better team this year overall. Yeah, the schedule lays out in the favor just because it allows us to kind of build for a little bit and get exposure at big meets. At the pre-national meet, we'll have exposure to the national course, which we've never done that before. So this will be a huge advantage for us. We're not going to come in blind. We don't have to leave as early. We can sleep more in our own beds, things like that. So that'll be huge for us. And then it'll give us 3 weeks to train hard before we go to Princeton, which is a very, very big meet. A lot of Division I schools, very few Division III schools. So it'll give them another race that is national caliber, but even better than national caliber competition. So last year they came into nationals and it was the biggest race they'd ever run in their life, probably by 300%. But this year they'll come into nationals and it will just be another race, which is kind of how we looked at conference and regionals and things like that. Just another race. Oh yeah, the experience and exposure they had at the national level, there's nothing that I can do on a coaching standpoint to give them that. That's something they've earned, they have now, they're going to have for the rest of their life. So it's going to impact them astronomically on the field, in the classroom, off the field. They're just going to walk around and think a little more highly of themselves. Maybe last year they weren't sure if they deserved to be at the national meet, but now they know they've been there, they deserve to be there. Hopefully we're there again as well. So just being there and experiencing it, even for runners that didn't race last year like Nevin Heckman, he was there, he experienced it. So when he runs at nationals this year, it's going to be that much easier for him. For the ODAC conference, I think the biggest challengers are going to probably come from Washington and Lee. They have a very talented class returning from last year. They had 2 really good freshmen that battled with a lot of our kids last year, so they'll be pretty tough. I know they brought in a couple good recruits. And then EMU, I think, across town should be pretty good. They return, I think, all of their top 5, so they think they're the only team that returns their entire top 5 that was in the top 5 last year, so they'll be pretty tough as well. Roanoke, I think, has gotten a lot better, but really I think those are your top 4 teams right there.